Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Coach. This is my channel, Retired Roster DIY. I'm Coach Morris, and I'm going to talk about something that maybe retirees don't talk about enough. I know this is starting to affect me, and it's easy to mistake isolation for just being busy with the projects, and before you know it, your world starts shrinking down to, the driveway or the trip to the hardware store, and maybe just to the living room. So let's get into it. Let's go. I call this part the invisible trap, isolation. You think with retirement, you got total freedom, but without a schedule, without the team to coach, that isolation is starting to creep in on me. Going to Lowe's, Home Depot, not a sponsor, and working alone in the backyard, it feels productive, but it's like a closed loop. You get caught in that time lapse, where you're doing the same things over and over, and it feels good. You stop wanting to go and do and be with people. There's research on this, and I went and researched it because when I started feeling it, I'm like, what's going on? Where am I going with this isolation? I mean, I was liking it. I just stay here home with Rhonda, work in the yard, watch the ball game. I schedule my time over, watching the Astros, which is fine. That part's okay. But when I stop wanting to go see friends or talk to family maybe on the phone or drive down to Houston and San Antonio and Austin and visit family, and the isolation's there. Well, anyway, did some research. It was a major report highlighted by the AARP, and it's the foundation equated the health risk of prolonged social isolation in older adults to like smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Well, when I read that, I highlighted it. And just recently, a massive long-term study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, big words, but it resonated with me. They tracked over 175,000 adults and found the direct link between chronic loneliness, sleep decline, are you getting there? Man, and brain function. You got to use your brain. It turns out staying connected to a community isn't just a social thing, it's a vital maintenance for your brain. That's why I started the YouTube channel and doing some different stuff, but it's not all just about that. So when you feel yourself starting to feel that isolation, stop, slow down. The next part of it that was starting to affect me is being lazy. Now, you don't think you're being lazy. You get up, you do your thing, and then before you know it, you get out of your routine, you get out of the things that are helping you function daily. Well, you're tired. You've worked hard. You've earned to be able to do those things. Well, understand, and I'm learning too, is that once we start losing that decline or going into that decline and isolation, we start becoming lazy. You stop doing the things that make you keep moving forward. It's disguised as well-earned rest. But if you don't use your body and your mind, you lose them. It comes, use it or lose it, right? You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. anymore. You don't have to do that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you have to get up and get dressed, wash your face, brush your teeth, comb your hair. You don't have to do that. But you need to get up at a routine time every day, whether it's, you just don't need to stay in bed till noon.
And that's for any age, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a healthy thing. And I know as a man, I need a routine. I need to do the same things every day. And it helps me function. And if I miss something, if something is not there, I feel it. And I know that there's something off with what's going on. The science. Researchers at the University of Pittsburgh published a study in JAMA Psychiatry looking exactly at this laziness. They found that the older adults who maintained a consistent daily routine, getting up early, staying active throughout the day, they performed significantly better on cognitive tests and had drastically lower rates of depression than those with erratic schedules. Man. Does that mean that you can't sleep till, out of your routine till 6 o'clock in the morning instead of getting up at 4:30 or 5? Heck no, do it. Your body's telling you something there too. Rest, but stay on the same routines. Waking up at that consistent time, it's not about just running the marathon or the duration of the engagement. Waking up at consistent time sets your eternal biological clock, what scientists call Zilberger's. I don't know why I left that in there. I can't, me in English language, I can barely speak anyway. And it keeps your brain sharp. Third part. The reward system. Reward yourself. Get up, do those routine things, and then reward yourself. Reward yourself with a great cup of coffee. Take the dog for a walk, come back, sit on the porch, relax, then get your routine going. Do the same thing. You don't get the prize until you put in the work. I watched a guy on YouTube a while back, and he'd get up and he'd do his yoga stuff. And one of the things that resonated with me in this guy was he said he rewarded himself with his cup of coffee after he got his workout in. And it just made all the sense to me in the world. Me, I don't get to sit on the back porch until I get certain things done. And I don't relax until I get what I have created for my routine. I write those things down. We have a list that is 10 miles long, but we try to take one or two of those things every day and mark them off our list. So if you're feeling that isolation, get up and move. There's so many places as adults and retired adults that we can go volunteer. We can do those things. I remember my mother for years would go and volunteer. And whether there's a pink lady at the hospital or Meals on Wheels, where she would go and deliver meals. And she did that.
Church. She volunteered at church.
Always at the church. She was always doing something for others. So I encourage you, start feeling down and feeling sorry for yourself. I get it. So what I'm telling you, if you start feeling sorry for yourself and you find yourself in that isolationism, or you start feeling lazy, get your buttocks up, get down to the church, Get down to the Salvation Army. Tell them, hey, let me sweep the floors. Let me do something for someone else. I encourage you to get up, go do those volunteer things. It will help you live the more productive life. Remember, keep smiling. Victory.